This is officially the last video of 2022. I can't believe it's been a whole year with you guys, and it's been quite an incredible year. I actually read 200 books in the year of our Lord 2022. Pause for applause. Thank you. 200 books. I honestly did not think I was going to be able to do this when I first started the month of December, and I saw that I was only 19 books away from reaching 200 books in the year. I was like, should I try this? Should I like just go absolutely insane, put my mental health on the brink of destruction, and just try to reach the 200 book mark for the year? The highest amount of books that I've ever read in a year is like 100, and that's like really cutting it really close.
Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop lying.
Yeah, I kind of went off this year, if I do say so myself. For the last video of 2022, I thought it would be really fun to go through my reading stats. I have Storygraph and I also have Goodreads. Let's see how many pages I read, how many genres, how many authors, my average rating. I cannot be the only one that loves reading stats. I love being super nosy and just looking at other people's reading years and just see how it went. So I thought I would share it with you guys, and I'm so excited. I haven't looked at them, so I'm not really sure what's going to come out of my reading stats. So without further ado, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that you've liked and commented. Wait, it's a little bit early to do that. You haven't even seen the video. Yeah, sorry, I got ahead of myself, but make sure you're subscribed and the notification bell is on because it does keep this channel alive and well. Thank you very much. So I would really appreciate that if you have the time, of course, no pressure. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into my reading stats for 2022. 2022 reading goal of 100 books met. 200%. So my very first reading goal when I started 2022 was 90 books. And when I was really close to reaching 90, I was like maybe 80 books into my reading goal, and I was like, okay, let's bump it up to 100. I honestly thought I was reaching for the stars when I reset my reading goal for 100 books, but I was like, okay, I'm so close to 90 books, I might as well just bump it up to 100. And then this happened. I'm not really sure how this happened, but it just did. I've exceeded my reading goal by 100 books. That's crazy to me. Like, for sure, this is the last time that this is going to happen, but it feels great to do this at least once in my lifetime. 200 books, 71,959 pages read. I love that for me. I love that. That is such a sexy number. I am so relieved that it's not an even number because I hate even numbers. I hate them so much. So the fact that I read such a beautifully odd number of pages it's giving me so much happiness. Like, every single number of the pages read is odd. That is extremely satisfying. This is very random, but that is extremely satisfying. 71,959 pages. Adventurous, 92. Emotional, 81. that definitely pans out. And dark. Okay, adventurous, emotional, and dark being my most read moods. You know, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Like, I'm not even going to try to explain why it makes sense. If you've been watching my videos, I feel like it makes so much sense. There's no use trying to explain it. Reflective, 45. Lighthearted. Okay, you see, it's not all dark. It's not all dark and gloomy here. We have some lighthearted books. Mysterious, funny, tense. And then the other ones, which are too small to think about. But there we go, you know, mostly dark and gloomy, but we do have a few lighthearted books here and there. I think that's when I started to get into like my romance era. Yeah, I really appreciated those books. 50% of the books that I read in 2022 have a medium pace. That is very interesting. And then we have fast for 34% and last slow with a 17%. Yeah, it pans out, like, totally. I see that. Okay, I love this graph because it is so beautifully balanced. 42% of the books that I read were in a range of 300 to 499 pages. And then we have 40% with less than 300 pages. And then 18% with over 500 pages. So apparently I'm like a medium-sized book type of girly, and I'm so okay with that. Big books, I'm still trying to work on this, and hopefully in 2023 I can get to some of the books that I've been wanting to read, but I've just been so intimidated by them because of the sheer size. Like anything over 800 pages makes my tummy just kind of like crawl into itself, and I'm a little bit intimidated by them. But I have a great support system, and by that I mean buddy reads. If you're intimidated by a big book, going into it with people that you trust and people that you have fun can sometimes alleviate some of that fear. So that's definitely what I'm going to be trying to do in 2023, and maybe my percentage of over 500 page books is going to rise up in 2023. I only read 7% of nonfiction books, and honestly I'm not surprised by that because nonfiction right next to science fiction are two of my least favorite genres. Like, I have such a hard time, I struggle with them a lot, and most of the nonfiction books that I've read I just don't really connect to. Apart from the two really amazing nonfiction books that I read this year, which were I'm Glad My Mom Died and Know My Name, I feel like mostly nonfiction and we don't really click. So that 7% definitely pans out. It's not that I don't give it a try, I swear I try, but every time that I try, I lose a little bit of hope because I just don't have a good time. My most read genre is fantasy, and that pans out. Honestly, I am not surprised. And right under fantasy, we have manga. I did read quite a lot of manga this year. I read Jujutsu Kaisen, Spy Family, Demon Slayer. Incredible manga series. I can't believe they're over. Stop, I'm not gonna get into that. No, but like, okay, I will get into that. I finished 2 of my all-time favorite manga series in the same year, I think even in the same month, and I have not recovered. I want to reread some of my favorite volumes, especially from Full Metal Alchemist and Demon Slayer, because I just love them so much. And every year actually I do a rewatch of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, so I'm excited to start 2023 so that I can start like my 10th or 11th rewatch of Brotherhood. And this is totally random, but another series that I do a yearly rewatch of is Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I am very excited for that because I just love the Avatar crew. They feel like family to me. So I'm very excited for 2023 to do those 2 whole rewatches. Anyways, after manga we have romance. That's definitely true. My romance era was truly thriving in 2022. I read so many wonderful romance books, and I did read some flops and duds here and there. You know, Rhythm, Chord, and Malikan. God, Jesus, wish I never read that. But then I also read From Look Up With Love. Like 2022 was the year that I found Mariana Zapata, and the fact that one of my favorite books and one of the worst books that I read this year are both from Mariana Zapata is just mind-boggling. After romance, we have contemporary, young adult, horror, literary fiction. I did discover literary fiction this year, and it's this whole other world. I am so excited to keep digging for more literary fiction books that I can read in 2023 because The Bell Jar, My Year of Rest and Relaxation, Sally Rooney, of course, it's just, literary fiction is this whole other world, and I am so excited to keep learning more about it in 2023. My least read genre is crime. I honestly cannot remember what oh, How to Kill Your Family, that was such a bad book. That was such a bad book, and it sucks because it was actually recommended to me by one of my friends, but it was not good. Digital, 7%, and I think I'm warming up to the idea of ebooks. And it's not that I don't like them, but since I use my iPhone, it's just hard on my eyes. So hopefully on 2023, I get to read more ebooks. Hopefully, fingers crossed. 2% on audio, there we go. For the people who say that audiobooks don't count as books, there you go, I read. and then print is 92%. So for most read authors, of course we have a manga artist, Koyoharu Gotuge, and then Gege Akutami, which is the Jujutsu Kaisen one, and then we have Junji Ito. Of course Junji Ito, I read so many books by him this year. I read 8 Junji Ito books. Fantastic, so many good ones to choose from. And then Rick Riordan, of course, because I did reread the Heroes of Olympus series this year. We also have Mariana Zapata, of course, I've already mentioned her, but there we go. And Jane Austen! I did finish reading all of Jane Austen's books this year, which is very sad, the fact that I don't have any more Austen books to read. But yeah, most of the ones that I read I loved, so there we go. What is this? Okay, why? This is kind of dope, you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of whack. We're Loving the Waves. In April, I read 8,408 pages. Why is that the... What happened in April? Why did I read so much in April? I read 24 books in April. Girl, what happened in April? Starting the year with 12 books, and then April, out of nowhere, just 24. What happened there? That's crazy. And then apparently in May, I went through a depressive cycle because I only read 11 books. Oh, but I think in August, I read even less. I read 8 books in August. I think, okay. In August, I got really sick. I only read 8 books in August, but I watched like 7 animes and 4 K-dramas. And that's like hours and hours, maybe even days of content. So that's why I didn't read that much in August, because I was so focused on watching all of the anime and all of the K-dramas that were currently on my to-see list. Okay, my average rating is 4.01 stars. I thought I had a pretty average reading year, but now seeing my average rating, maybe I was wrong. Like, I feel like I've given so many books 3.5 and 3 stars, but apparently I've given a lot of 5 stars. Oh, the manga. Yes, it all comes back to the manga. I did mention in one of my videos where I was trying to find my new 5-star read that without counting manga and rereads, I've only given 13 books 5 stars. There we go. Yes, my average rating for 2022 was 4.01. I'm really happy with that rating, and hopefully 2023 is going to be even higher. 2023 is all about finding the books that feel like me. Yes, I want to experiment more with genres and try different things, but at the same time, I also want to try books that I know I'm going to love, because sometimes I pick up books and I'm like, this feels like a 2-star. Maybe it's time to just put it down and not suffer through the whole thing. So 2023 is all about prioritizing quality and the things that I love, or the things that I know I'm bound to love. And those are all of the reading stats from Storygraph. So let's go to Goodreads. My year in books, 2022. Okay, so the pages read is different here than on Storygraph. I'm not sure about that. I don't know why the pages read is different in Goodreads than it was on Storygraph, but alas, we move on. I do not like this number because it's full of even numbers, except for that number 5, but I'm gonna pretend that I don't see that number. Let's see, my shortest book was Letters to a Young Poet, written by Rainer Maria Rilke. I love that book. Just looking at it fills me with so much happiness and so much hope. Letters to a Young Poet didn't make it into my top 10 books of 2022, but it's definitely like on the 11th spot or like the 12th spot, because that book is just fantastic. If it weren't for like the last 10 pages, it would be a 5-star. And then the longest book, there we go, hi. Were you waiting for this moment? Because I was. The longest book that I read in the year of our Lord 2022 was War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Yes, I read War and Peace. Yes, oh my god, I'm so sorry, have I not mentioned this enough? Yes, I've read War and Peace. I read it. I started off the year reading War and Peace. That is, I think, one of the first books that I read in January. And yeah, I finished War and Peace. 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 Thank you. My average book length in 2022 was 342 pages. There we go. My most shelved was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. That makes sense. 11 Sorry, what? 11,396,264 people also shelved Harry Potter this year. Or not this year, maybe I think it's in general. That is insane. And then my least shelved, only by 88 people, Attack on Titan, Volume 5 or Volume 4 of the omnibus version. How is that the least shelved book in my Goodreads? That is unacceptable. I don't like this. More people need to read this book, please. My average rating for 2022, 4 stars. There we go. And that doesn't take into account my half stars, which I definitely have a lot of those this year because Goodreads still hasn't incorporated the half-star ratings in their system. That's why Storygraph is superior in my opinion, but I keep both because why not? Highest rated on Goodreads, Know My Name by Chanel Miller with a 4.72 average. That is fantastic news. I loved Know My Name. It's one of my favorite nonfiction books ever that I've read, and that's not saying much because I haven't read that many good nonfiction books. But Know My Name was just fantastic, beautiful. It blew every other nonfiction book that I read out of the park. my first review of the year was a 2-star, The Maid by Anita Prose. Well, that wasn't fun. That's all I said. That's my review. Well, that wasn't fun. I mean, it pans out. The Maid is on my top worst books of 2022. And the fact that I started my year with one of my worst books, I don't know how I didn't lose faith because January is filled with really bad books, but I also found one of my favorite books of 2022. So, you know, it's like a balance of the good and the bad and the ugly. These are all of my 2022 books. Oh, look at them. Oh, I did reread the Lux series this year. Wow, I forgot about that. From Look Up With Love, of course. Normal People, oh, Where She Belongs. The Son of Neptune, of course. Oh my god, look at all these people. Not people, I'm sorry. Look at all those chicken. My last review of the year. This isn't actually my last review of the year because this isn't the last book that I read in 2022, but I think the system is just kind of lagging a little bit because I did do it right before this video. The last book that I read in 2022 is going to be on my December wrap-up, so stay tuned for that. I am very excited, but also a tiny bit extremely terrified to do my December wrap-up because I've read such an interesting collection of books for this month just to complete my reading challenge, and even though I did enjoy most of them, I think none of them went under 3.5 stars. So that's good. I didn't read that many 5-star books in December, but I still had quite a lot of fun, and it was nice to like set myself a goal and actually reach it. It just felt very fulfilling and satisfying, and I feel very proud of myself. 2022 was insane, like in the best way possible. All of the books that I read, the new authors that I got acquainted with, I found some new favorite authors, I found so many wonderful favorite books, and even though I did find one of the worst books that I've ever read in my life this year, it's all okay because it's over, it's in the past, I've moved on, it doesn't hurt me anymore, it can't hurt me anymore, so I'm okay. And yeah, 2022 was just crazy, and I'm so happy that I got to share it with you guys. I'm so happy that you're here with me and that you've stayed with me for so long. If you've been here since January, if you've been here since I started a few years back, or if you recently found my channel and you've just, you know, been supporting me for a couple of weeks, thank you. Just from the bottom of my heart, from the deepest corners of my soul, I am so grateful to you for giving me the opportunity to talk about the books that I love and share my love for reading and my love for life and my love for you. Thank you so much for making 2022 so special and one of my favorite years ever on BookTube. I feel like I've really grown into myself and I've really found the things that bring me happiness. Hopefully you're excited for the things that I'm going to be doing in 2023. I have so many fun things planned and I cannot wait to share them with all of you. Those were all of my reading stats for 2022. Let me know how your reading year went in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. It helps this channel stay alive and it helps me keep on doing what I'm doing. So I would really appreciate it. And if you're still here, leave this emoji in the comments below so that I know you stayed until the end and you support me and my channel. I also have a Patreon that I've just been having the most fun with you guys this year with my Patreons. We've been reading some really incredible books and also some really horrible books. We've been doing 24-hour live streams. We've been doing movie nights and exclusive reading vlogs, exclusive reading sprints. So if you're interested on more content from me and spending more time with me, my Patreon is down below. I would really love to have you as part of my family. I also have an Instagram. You know, whenever I'm not here, I'm probably on my Instagram stories. So you can head on over there as well and support me there too. I just want to wish you guys the loveliest of New Year's. I hope you have your resolutions ready. I hope you're not too hard on yourself. You know, 2023 is all about self-love and being compassionate and just finding the things that truly make us happy. So I hope that we have a wonderful new year. Happy New Year. I love you guys so very much and I will see you soon. Bye.
Hey Jimmy, you nice. Keep going.